Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. Today is a really good day. I don't know about you, but this weather is making my mood literally skyrocket. It's just something about it. It's just making me so excited for summer, and like the vibes are just immaculate. But today is going to be a slightly different video. I never would have thought I'd do a video like this, and to be honest, it was sort of a spur of the moment idea. But I'm going to be doing how I passed my driving test first try. I'm just gonna like be letting you guys know some little tips. I don't know, a video that I'd want to watch when I was like approaching my driving test or learning to drive, etc. Something that I think can help you guys. This isn't going to be a really long one because I don't want it to be boring for you, but yeah, without further ado, let's go on with the video. Obviously, as I'm sure you guys are aware, if you guys have been long-time supporters, about 7 or 8 months ago I was in a really bad car accident. Obviously that did knock my confidence quite a lot when it came to like getting in cars and stuff, but because I actually don't remember the actual car accident itself, only like the repercussions of it, I feel like a bonus I did take from it is that I don't have like trauma of the event like reoccurring in my head, if that makes any sense. And it has made me feel much more cautious when it comes to driving, because I am absolutely shit scared of anything bad happening in the car. And obviously I'm not saying get into a car crash, Jesus Christ, absolutely no way, but all I'm saying is driving is so dangerous, and it is so important to just always expect the worst and like be imagining that something bad could always happen, because obviously you could be the best driver in the world, the most safest driver ever, someone else on the road is being really irresponsible and like means it puts your life at risk. To prevent someone else making a huge mistake, you need to do your absolute best to like be safe in every single possible way, and that is what driving instructors are looking for. They're literally just looking for safety. If you're in your driving test, you're thinking, what can I do right now to like impress him, impress the driving examiner, do everything the safest version possible. You've got mirrors, you need to check every single mirror all the time. If you don't know which mirror you need to check when you're like indicating, or I don't know, you know when you get nervous and you get like a bit of a mental block, just keep checking everywhere. I'll go through like some of the checks and stuff. So before you set off, you need to make sure you're checking behind you, your blind spot. You need to check your left mirror, your middle mirror, your right mirror, your blind spot, and make sure you're checking all behind you. You need to do like a 6-point check. Like you need to make sure you're checking everything before you go off, and it's mirror signal maneuver. You do all your checks and check your mirrors and everything, and then you'd indicate, and then you'd go, because you don't want to like let people know what you're doing if you still got to do your 6-point check, because that's going to take you like a few seconds, and in that time someone really fast could be like approaching, if that makes sense. You need to just make sure that you're thinking logically and like doing everything that makes sense, and like make sure it's really safe. So indicate just as you're about to move off. Another thing that's really important is they will ask you to pull over on the side of the road. I think it's about 5 times. It might vary, in each driving test they asked me 5 times to pull over and take off 5 times. They'll say please pull over when it's safe and convenient to do so, and sometimes it might say ignore the road markings or something, so you can like go on a yellow line or something. But what I would advise you do is make sure that take a little bit of time, so indicate to the left and then brake. Always indicate before you like slow down. You don't want to just randomly start braking and then people behind you aren't expecting it, but if you're like indicating and then slow down, people will be expecting it, do you know what I mean? So do you indicate, say you're moving over to the left, indicate, brake, find a space that isn't blocking any driveways, isn't near to any driveways either, or like on a bend. If you're like near to a bend, that will be like obstructing anyone's vision if they did come up to you. Don't pull over right where people are walking on the pavement, where there's no chance that you could be like in anyone's way or a danger to somebody or scare somebody. Just make sure like you're just in a really safe place, and remember that this is your test, like you've got all the time in the world. If they say pull over when it's safe and convenient to do so, and you're looking, there's loads of people walking, looks like there's people going to be crossing, you're near a zebra crossing, you're near driveways, you're near like exits and stuff, like just wait, and it's okay. Like just give yourself the time. You don't need to do it like I don't need to pull over straight away, do you know what I mean? Like you can have a bit of time. Hey, so I am interrupting this video because I've got something really exciting to show you guys. I don't know if you've heard of this brand before, but they're called Ana Luisa, and genuinely they are like so pretty. It's like a jewelry brand. Usually I am like a silver jewelry kind of gal, don't get me wrong, I'm usually really boring when it comes to jewelry, but now now that I have found Ana Luisa, it's literally made me so much more excited to get like really cute pieces and stuff. That is really annoying, having the window open because you can hear the birds. Having these little pouches means that you will not lose them if you're very disorganized like me. I'm going to show you what I've got from Ana Luisa because I think you're actually going to love it. I've gone for gold this time, which is very out there for me. I say that as if like gold isn't literally the most basic jewelry color ever, but like genuinely it just was so pretty that I just couldn't not. Do you know what I mean? As you guys know, I am very much a pearl necklace gal, so this was very up my street. Basically it's like a really delicate thin piece of necklace, and then it has like all the little pearls going down it, and I just think it's so cute. And what is also really good about this is that you can adjust it to the length you want. So there's like, you've got 3 different adjustments you can do it to. So if you want it a bit shorter or a bit longer, then you can, and if you want to like layer it with other necklaces, you can, because you can make them different length. It looks so cute. I'm going to show you them individually, and then I'm going to put them all on at the end so you can see what they look like all together, because they're literally so cute. I'm like obsessed. And then this one I'm so excited about. I genuinely don't think I can pick a favourite out of these because of how adorable they all are. This one is like a little paper clip. Can you see that? It's a little paper clip with like a little like shiny end to the paper clip. It's so cute. I'm actually obsessed with this one. I think it's like a little bit more edgy. I don't know, I wouldn't say it's as like basic as like your typical pearls, and like it adds a little bit to your outfit. As a gift this would be perfect. So like I'm thinking Mother's Day. I've got my mum one of these for Mother's Day. I think it's literally perfect idea to get for a gift. This one is adorable. It's giving me very much designer vibes, I won't lie to you. It's got like the pearl detailing inside. It's sort of like a little like flower thing. It just is so cute. It's sort of got like an iridescent like pearly colour inside, and it's so adorable. I love it. I literally love it. It looks so nice around the neck. Like, I need to show you what they look like on. Okay, so I've put them on. As you can see, have a little moment to appreciate how adorable they are. I'm literally obsessed with them. I feel like my jewelry game has literally just gone up to the next level. They're so adorable. I love layered necklaces. I think they do just hit different. Do you know what I mean? They add a little spice to the outfit. I'd highly recommend getting your hands on Ana Luisa because they are top notch. Another thing is when you're reversing, you need to make sure that you're constantly moving your head. So the checks that you do before you'd set off are again the checks you need to do the whole way before you're doing your reversing. So you do it before you start reversing, and then literally as you're reversing, which I find so stupid, not gonna lie, because I understand before you move off and stuff, and maybe like once while you're moving around like gradually, but to keep doing this, like you can't see where you're going in a line. If you're doing a reverse bay park or like a parallel park, to get a precise parallel park you need to be like right by the curb. So to keep moving your head, you're not going to be very precise, are you? So what I'd say when you're reversing is make sure you're literally going like not even 1 mile per hour. I literally keep your foot on the brake and just like bring it up slightly, because if you go too fast, by the time you're checking all your mirrors you'll be in the wrong position, and then you'll have to correct it. I think it's 2 minors if you have to correct a maneuver. These are the maneuvers you can get. You get front bay park, reverse to car length, and reverse bay park, parallel park. Obviously you've got front bay park to the right, front bay park to the left, reverse bay park to the right, reverse bay park to the left. I got reverse to car lengths, which I was very lucky I got, to be honest. But literally just make sure you're just going so slow with your maneuvers. I think that is literally the key point. Like if you need to be moving at the speed that like an old man with a walking stick would be walking, then if you overshoot it a little bit, you can spin the wheel around really quick and like correct your mistake straight away. Whereas if you're really quick, you fucked it. Do you know what I mean? If you're really slow, you'll be okay, I promise. Another thing I'd say, make sure with the speed limit you're always going like 2 miles per hour underneath the speed limit, because I did go like 2 miles per hour over the speed limit literally for a second. I was like, it was a complete mistake, I didn't even realise, and I got a minor for it, and I was literally going 2 miles per hour over like for 1 second, and I got a minor. Obviously every examiner you get is going to be different. My examiner was actually really nice, he was really good, but I'm just gonna like tell you what to expect in your driving test. It's so scary, I know. I was literally putting myself, some people don't even get scared for it, but I was actually shitting myself. They say get there about 15 minutes early. I just would. I think it just calms you down a little bit in case they're like a little bit early or something. You just need to like sign something, I'm pretty sure. They say you need to take your pass certificate for your theory. They didn't even check mine. As long as you've got your driving license and just take that, that's all you need with you. Then they'll ask you to take you to the car, they'll ask you to get in the car, and then they check the car to make sure it's like intact. So make sure if you're doing it in your car that it is insured for a driving test, because if it's not, they won't do the driving test, which is really annoying. Yeah, but they'll just do like a check of it and everything. They have the show me tell me questions. I would just make sure you know them, because that is something that you don't want to stress about before your driving test, because that's what I was doing. I learned my show me tell me questions the night before at like midnight, which was just on my mind, stressing me out so much. And basically there was this one question that I actually got. I'm so glad that I did keep going over it, because it was the one that I kept getting wrong, was just confusing me. And then literally just before I went into the exam, I like went over the question, and then it was like literally within the first 3 minutes of getting in my car, he asked me the question, and I like literally knew it word for word. I was like, yes, thank the Lord. If you just go on the government website and like learn them, that would be really good, because I think you get a minor if you don't know them, and like I think it's just good, and it's like probably makes the examiner feel a little bit more confident that you are like trying and making an effort, like you've actually gone over the questions and stuff. I think that's a really nice one. And I think as well, remember, these examiners are literally just normal people. Like they're just doing their job. They're not mean, they're just doing their job. They might make convo with you. Mine made convo with me, and like just don't let it distract you, because when it was making convo with me, just make sure you're checking your mirrors, you're doing your mirror signal maneuver, you're in the right lane, watching what cars are doing and what you anticipate them to be doing like in the next second or something. Because I was like getting in a full-blown conversation with my examiner, and I was like, oh my god, focus, focus, focus. You don't want to be like at an island and a car is like in a lane and you think you're in another lane or something, and then you get flustered. So yeah, just make sure that you're not rude, but maybe try and keep the conversation down if they do try and make convo with you a little bit. Before you get in the car, they'll ask you to do a show me question if it's one that you need to open the bonnet for, as long as you know the car. So if you're doing your driving instructor's car, make sure you've gone over them with your driving instructor in their car, because else you literally have no idea. It's stupid really that they ask you these questions, because you can literally Google it and you'd find out in seconds, but whatever. And then if you're doing it in your car, make sure that you've looked in your car as well before, or you've like Googled what it looks like in your car. You get 20 minutes independent driving, and then you get 20 minutes them telling you what to do. So for 20 minutes they'll tell you where to go, and then for the other 20 minutes it'll be you either follow road signs or you follow a GPS. I had road signs. I was dreading that. I'd never used road signs before, which I found a little bit distracting, because I just feel like I don't want to have to like check the road signs when I don't know where I'm going and I'm scared about my driving test. Like, just tell me where to go. Do you know what I mean? Just say go in the right lane and go right, but I had to work it all out for myself. It's usually left lane for straight on or left, and right lane for going right. Obviously sometimes it's different, and obviously for like bigger roundabouts there are more lanes, but just make sure that you're thinking logically and not overthinking it. I think that's really important. Like, just relax and think about you're just going on a normal, really safe drive as well. I can't stress how important the mirror checks are. I was literally like, felt like I wasn't even looking at the road. I felt like I was just looking in my mirrors constantly. Obviously you've got to look at the road, but I'm not being funny. The amount I was checking my mirrors was like ridiculous. I almost felt embarrassed with the amount I was checking my mirrors, but at the same time it worked. So they'll ask you to pull over, they'll ask you to do a maneuver, they'll ask you a show me question, they'll also ask you a tell me question. Mine was, how do you put down the window? I loved it. I was like, yes, like spot on. They ask you the tell me question at the start, and then they ask you the show me question while you're driving, which is a little bit not nice, you know what I mean? I really don't really like that, but most of them are quite easy. It's like how to beep your horn, how to put down your window, how to put on the aircon or something. And all I'd say is just make sure that when you're doing it, there's like isn't cars like approaching you, or like, I don't know, you're going around an island or something. Make sure that you're like on a straight road and the traffic isn't like slowing down or something, so like it's the safest time to have one hand on a wheel. Do you know what I mean? The driving test usually lasts 40 minutes. Mine was literally dead on 40 minutes. But all I'd say is just take it really steady. I got into this like little bit of a mare in my driving test because there was a massive traffic jam all around an island. There was temporary traffic lights just outside of the island, and there was a gap, and I wasn't sure if people were going to go or not, so I sort of just sat there and I didn't know whether to like go through the gap or not, and if the people on the outside were like waiting to go through or something. So loads of people were like passing me, like going through the gap, like overtaking me, and I was like, this is not good, this is not good, what do I do? So I just did my 6-point check and made sure no one was coming, and then went through the gap, because you know I could go through the gap as long as I knew no one was approaching me and it wasn't going to be risky to like go through, and I could tell the person to my side was like sat still, like he had his handbrake on, then you're all good to go. I think if you get into a situation that you haven't been in before, just do all your observations and make sure you're in a safe position before you like decide what you're gonna do about it. But as long as you just make sure you're super safe, you should be fine. Obviously, if someone does something stupid, like pulls out in front of you and then you have to like do a really erratic thing, then it's not your fault. It is literally just having luck on the day. Things like that are gonna happen when you're driving alone, but because you're an exam, just things like that, isn't it? Rains on your parade. I started learning to drive on like the 30th of October and I passed my test on the 3rd of March. So I did do it quite speedily, to be fair. I had an hour-and-a-half driving lesson every week for about 3 weeks. No, and then I had them every other week for about 2 months. And then I literally got a driving test like within a month. And I was like, oh, I don't know, because I used one of the cancellation apps because it was actually booked in for like the 30th of May. And I was like, that's so far away. Like, no, no, no. So I put in the cancellation app for the beginning of March to the end of March, so hopefully have it in March. But I was expecting it hopefully not to be at the beginning of March, and it was the 3rd of March. And I was like, do you know what, fuck it, let's go for it. And I just got in like 3 driving lessons within the week for my driving test, and I literally just went out as much as possible. I think I am super lucky that I have my own car, because it helped me so much having my own car, because you can literally do like all the small trips, every journey. You can just be like, mum, get in the car, let's go. A huge help from my mum and dad and stuff, like being willing to get in the car with me when I was not a past driver. It literally saved my life. Like, I feel like it did make such a difference. So if you do have a car, I would 100% recommend making the most of it while you're learning, and like do as much roundabouts as possible, as much like sort of city-like places, like where there's a lot of traffic, different times of the day, fast roads. Make sure you do A roads, because that might be a bit confusing if you've never been on it, but once you get the hang of it, it is completely fine. Just make sure that when you merge on, you check your blind spot, and when it's like a triangle like merging you on the road markings, make sure that you don't go over that, because I think then you instantly fail if you do that. And make sure that you're staying behind all cars 2 seconds behind them, because they will check for that. Because you've got to have a safe distance, so if anything happens to the vehicle in front of you, that like you have enough time to like react. And make sure if you're coming up a bit close to like a lorry or something, because they're a bit slower than you on an A road, that you do overtake them. And you know, you're gonna have a bit of confidence for it, but I believe in you, because they like to see that. Say if you're on like a 70-mile-per-hour road and you're going like 50 miles per hour, make it obvious that you know the speed of the road and that you do have confidence and that you're a competent driver. And they don't want you to just sort of like be poodling along. Like, they want to see that you can make progression. So make sure that you like are showing them, you know, in areas that you need to go slower, make sure you do, but in areas that you are able to go faster, make sure you can like show the progression. And I think that's pretty much all I have to tell you about it. Oh, and another thing I'd say is when they're on the way back to your driving centre, which you do sort of know when you're on the way back to your driving centre, don't start slacking. Check their mirrors constantly. Make sure you're doing everything the same as when you first got in that car with them. That could be your downfall. Make sure you're checking left and right. Do absolutely everything, because that would be an absolute shitter if you failed because of the last like 2 minutes. But I believe in you, and if you've got your test coming up or you're learning to drive, you've got this in the bag. It's all gonna be okay. And if it's not, literally you can find a cancellation within like the next like couple of weeks or something, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. If you're looking for a cancellation app, I use something online called Faster Driving, and basically you pay £10, and if they don't find you a test in the dates and times that you put in, then you get your £10 back. So it's quite good, and I highly recommend. But yeah, good luck everyone. I love you all. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was like a little bit helpful. Don't forget, you can shop Ana Luisa for really adorable necklaces like this one and really cute other jewelry as well. I'll put the link in my description to shop there. It'd be perfect for a Mother's Day gift. They're just so cute. I love them. If it was, please give this a huge thumbs up, like, comment and subscribe. My socials are linked in the description box below, and I love you all so much. See you in my next video.